guys, so I did this entire look today for under $40. It's all a part of the e.l.f. haul that I did. I started out with a few products, but I included those in the pricing. I really like e.l.f.'s price point and their quality of products. Some things are hits and misses, but overall, I'm very pleased with the look that I got today. I'm very excited to run my weekend errands tonight with my husband and son. And I hope you enjoy this video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up if you'd like to see more videos like this. Let's get started. Now, I've already moisturized my face with my Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizer Gel. This one, I got the last little bit out today. So I put that on, let it sit 5 to 10 minutes, and then I did the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. And that also sat about 5 to 10 minutes while I was setting everything up. And then I got pretty much everything I went out and bought. And I spent about $30. I had the bronzer palette that I'm going to use. Maybe if I don't blind y'all. I had this palette already. And then I had both the blushes that I'm going to test out today. And I had already been using the e.l.f. Their new little eyebrow thing that you'll see me get to use. And I already had my lipstick. So the other stuff that I went out and bought, you'll see me bring up and use. And I was really excited to test out the Mad for Matte makeup eyeshadow palette. So I was excited to do this little haul. And you'll see me get started right now. So I've already moisturized and I've already primed using the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. So now I'm going to go in. This is the e.l.f. Lightweight and Oil-Free Formula. It's just, and their foundation that's in a glass bottle. They had this at my Walmart and a BB cream. So I chose this. It's in a little pump. So let's pump some of this out. Maybe. There we go. Hopefully this matches my skin tone. Looks all right. So I'm going to take my wet Real Techniques Beauty Blender and just start getting that in, blending it in. This makeup has a little bit of a smell to it. It's not unpleasant, it just smells clean. And the face primer went on and I thought I was going to be in trouble. I thought it was going to be really oily. But I think it's just a really, it's going to smooth. Anything that's poreless has usually got a little bit of silicone in it to kind of smooth over the holes in our skin. You may be able to hear Riley in the living room playing. I'm actually getting ready to go on a Lowe's Walmart run. It's Saturday. I just got off of work. Didn't have too busy of a day, but decided to do a fresh makeup look. Why not do it on camera so you all can see? And I still pat back into the ears and down the neckline. I'm just checking in my mirror. I don't have my contacts or my glasses in, so it's making this a little bit difficult. It's rainy, so it's not the kind of day that I felt like wearing anything. So yes, I am blonde, but it looks okay. I have my nice little makeup mirror that I got for Valentine's Day sitting in front of me, and it's got lights on it. Ooh. So far, the foundation hasn't set. If I touch it or anything, I know that it's just gonna slide right off. So I'm gonna give it a few minutes to set to my face, and hopefully, I mean, it's not a matte. It wasn't advertised as a matte foundation. So we'll just see. Usually with my skin type, I need a matte foundation, but we'll just let it sit. So while my foundation set, I decided to go on and put contacts in to make this a little bit easier so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So it took the foundation about 10 minutes to set, and I really feel like it still could slide right off right here, and that's right where I had put the face primer. So we're just gonna kind of see. So next, after doing the foundation, I'm gonna go in with my eyebrows and just brush them up. I'm gonna go under. I've used this a little bit. When it first came out, it was more like this, like the Benefit eyebrow, and a lot of other brands have come out with these, and I may do a video comparing them, but it was almost like a triangle. Now it's more rounded out, which is unfortunate because I really liked this when it was the shape of a triangle. So I'm just gonna come in and go under my eyebrows, and notice I'm not taking a straight line. I'm going in a straight line, but I'm doing small little strokes. And then above, small little strokes. And you don't really want to like end at a point. You just kind of want to taper it down. I don't have very long eyebrows, and I'm just gonna kind of take it up under and just blend, 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 blend. Let me see if I have. Perfect. In the eyeshadow palette, there is going to be a matte brown right here at the end. How I usually do my eyebrows is I go under and over, and then I blend, and then I'll go in with a powder. So that's what I'm going to do today. So let me do the other one. And they sell eyebrow powders. It's eyebrows must be the thing of 2017, because everything came out with new eyebrow products. Or maybe I was just paying attention for the first time to eyebrows last year. The thing that I used to use the most was just a cheap eyeliner. But I've stepped up my game. So now I'm going to go in. This is actually an e.l.f. brush. It's just a flat brush. I believe this brush was $1 at my Walmart. And I'm going to take this, not this black shade. I'm going to take this brown shade in this eyeshadow palette. It's matte. So you can use just an eyeshadow that you have laying around. Just make sure it's matte. And this is a little bit darker than what I'm needing. But I'm trying to use just e.l.f. stuff. It looks terrible. And you can see I have rubbed the foundation off. right there. You can see my skin. So I don't know that this foundation is going to be a good fit for my skin type, but we will give it a little chance, and we'll clean that up with some concealer here in a minute. It may be the type that you do everything else first and then do the foundation. And I don't like working that way. I know that's the way that I work on clients, but I don't work that way on myself. And like my face still feels greasy, like it's going to rub off. So I'm almost scared to touch my face. So now that I filled in my eyebrows, I'm going to go in, and this is, I actually bought 2 concealers by e.l.f. One is the HD lifting concealer. I'm going to use this under my eyes later on. And then this is their conceal and highlight concealer. This one was $2, and the HD I believe was $4, maybe $6. So I'm going to go in. This has 2 sides, and I'm going to start with this side first, especially since I've rubbed off some of the foundation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some on the back of my hand first, because I like to go in when I'm going under my brows, and I don't like to use the little stick. I like to go in with a clean brush. Find a clean brush. I'm in the process of cleaning all of my brushes, so finding the perfect clean brush is hard to come by. So I'm just going to take this little no-name brush that I got at Marshall's that I really don't like for anything else. We're going to try it for this. So I'm going to take it and pick up some product and go right up under my eyebrow, pick up a little bit more product and go right over. That looks much better. So I'm going to do that to the other eye. And I waxed my eyebrows yesterday. And whenever I wax, no matter what type of wax I usually get these little bumps. I even use a wax that's made for very sensitive areas. I'll leave it at that. And my clients love it. And I love it for the most part. I don't get red and I don't get little tiny zits, but I still get the little bumps from the hair follicle being open. And it usually goes away within a day or 2. So, just going to take my finger. I usually use my beauty blender, but I'm really scared. This foundation still feels wet. So I'm a little concerned how it's going to do, even just running a few errands. So after that concealer, I am going to start on the eyes. And actually, I'm going to use that concealer as an eyeshadow primer. So I'm going to go in with the same color. Put it on the back of my hand. And I am going to go in. I'm just going to use my fingers because the brush I want is sitting to the side to be clean and it's filthy. So I'm going to just use my fingers. And the reason why I'm priming is because my skin is oily. And if you were just to put eyeshadow straight on your eyelids are oily, and that oil is going to mix with whatever eyeshadow you put on. If it is a $6 eyeshadow palette or a $40 eyeshadow palette, it's just not going to mix very well. So this is the palette that I'm going to use today. It is the e.l.f. Mad for Matte eyeshadow palette. This sells at Walmart, and I'm sure you can get it at Target and even Ulta. My Ulta is carrying e.l.f. online right now. But it looks like this, and I've heard lots of YouTube reviews on it, and it is a good $10 eyeshadow palette according to other people, so I'm going to give it a test out today, because I'm always looking. That was on my Christmas wish list, was an all matte eyeshadow palette. Mattes are in, and the older you get and the more wrinkles that you get, the less shimmer you want and the more matte you want. So we're going to see if we can do a look today to go with my purple hair with this new eyeshadow. And I'm really looking forward to using this purple color. There aren't any names for the eyeshadow, so I will do my best to point to them as I am picking them up. So I'm going to use this brush that's staying terribly. It is a Wet n Wild brush. I believe it sells for $2, but you get them at Walgreens and Walmart and stuff like that. And we're going to go in and take this lightest shade, pick some up, tap, and we're just going to go over where we put that concealer, and we're just going to be setting that, and this is going to help us build our colors and make it blendable. Just do little eyeshadow sweeps. Just make sure you get that everywhere. Okay, so from there we're going to take our fluffy brush, and this is an old MAC brush. I've had this brush for ages, and I'm going to go and use this middle shade as a transition color. So I'm going to pick that up, and I'm going to go in right at my crease and a little kind of pushing up from the crease, and just put that transition color in. And this is just going to help blend everything together. You can't just go in with your one color and keep adding dark and dark and dark and dark. You want to create a shadow effect. I'm going to pick up a little bit more, and I'm actually going to take some right here and then some of this lighter shade next to it. Just kind of giving a smoky rose. Next, I am going to pick up some of this little terracotta color. Same brush. I'm going to go right under everything I just did, just right under the crease. Next, I'm going to take that fluffy brush, flat fluffy brush from the beginning and make sure it's all cleaned off. And then I'm going to just blend everything together. Next, I am going to grab, this is an e.l.f. brush that I also picked up the other day in my haul, and it is a flat, a little bit thicker brush than the first brush I used. Again, it was $1. I don't know if you can kind of see the difference in them. And I'm going to use this and pick up this darker brown that I used for the eyebrows, and I'm just going to tap it into that plum. Tap off the excess, and I'm going to do in between a C and a V right in this corner. Right under that crease. And I'm not holding my brush close to the edge. I don't want a lot of pressure. I'm just kind of flicking it into the eye. Next, I'm going to go in with just the plum color. Just building on that C, more so a V shape for my eye. Now I'm going to go in with the fluffy brush and just do little circles. Blending. Okay, so I am going to take actually just my finger and grab some of this lighter shade and just come right to the quarter. This is what you do when you have no clean brushes to do what you want to do. I own probably 100 brushes. Much better. Now I'm going to take the smaller fluffy brush and dip into this plum again. And take it and do windshield wiper motions into that crease. My eyes have got to match my hair somewhat. So far, my initial thoughts on this palette are, I want to know what it does when it's not laid on this foundation. I still feel this foundation moving around. It may feel better in a minute when I go to set it. But I would love, I think this is a good eyeshadow palette. I would love to see what it's going to look like with my everyday makeup look. So next I'm going to go in, this concealer scares me because it looks so dark, and this is, I kept the box in their fair color, so it comes in a box like this. It's the HD concealer in fair, but this does not look fair. I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried to put it under my face, but that's why I bought this concealer, because I can always use the white with it. I want to see what Ultra HD Lifting will do for $4 or $6, however much this one costs. So I put it on, and I can already feel in the foundation sliding out from under it. Oops. Take my beauty blender, and I'm just gonna pat it into the skin. I really don't know if my problem is with the foundation or the primer. I've never used e.l.f. primer or foundation for that matter, so we will see. And I think I'm going to go in with the white. I don't notice a huge amount of difference. I feel like, if anything, it accentuated the bags maybe. Is that possible? I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I'll have to go back and look at what I looked like when I first started. And this doesn't look like anything comes out on that. So we're just going to test all this out together. Maybe I'll combine this with a little bit of, put that where a highlight would go. I think I've carried away with this a little too much. But I'm going to go back and put some of the HD and try to make this look salvageable for at least a trip to Lowe's. And I'm just blending that in. I like my under eyes to be a little bit brighter than the rest of my face. I think that's okay. So now I'm just going to take this concealer and go in places that I know that that foundation is going to slide off. And any little imperfections. And again, the Beauty Blender. I feel like the concealer makes the foundation stay in place a little bit better. But you can definitely tell, I don't know if this is picking up on camera, but in my mirror, right here is the foundation is already sliding off. And right here is where I put the primer. So from here forward on my nose and right here. So you can tell whenever I move, in the mirror I can really tell. I don't know if it's picking up fully in the camera, but like right here, it's not 100% set, but it is, I don't feel any different than how I feel with my regular foundation. Right here, if I was to just barely touch, you would be able, you would see my skin. So I'm going to go on through and I'm going to use the e.l.f. HD setting powder. It is a fine milled powder and it comes in a little container that you can open. I really like the fact that you can open and shut it like inside the container. So I'm going to swirl it around. A lot of product came out. Whoa. I'm going to just shut that right back. I'm going to take the clean side of my Beauty Blender and dab it. I'll be really curious to see if this has any flashback, because I would like to be able to use this on prom makeup, but you have to watch. There are certain ingredients that will cause you could see white in a flash. So far, it is setting that foundation down perfectly and giving that matte finish. But I am using a lot of product. Like, I've almost emptied out all of that. So you're definitely using a ton of product. And now I'm just going to take a little bit more and actually run a brush through it and swirl it around my face. So I'm going to be using one of my BH cosmetic brushes that I just got in the other day. I'm actually a little worried that this is moving the foundation around. I'm using a very, very, very light hand. Barely touching my face. And I'm even going to use their little powder poof that it comes with and set it again under where that primer is. And yes, that is the foundation and it's coming up on the powder proof. So my assumptions were correct. But we're gonna keep on keeping on. So I'm going to close that back up. Now that the foundation is set and I have the concealer and everything under my eyes, I'm going to go back in with this eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to take, first I'm going to take this little brush, little thin brush, and I'm going to do colors under my eyes now. So I'm going to start first with the transition shade, and I'm going under. I'm just bringing that shadow underneath. Now I'm going to go in with the terracotta color. Again, you just want to build the color. You didn't just do one color on top of your eyes, and you just want to build on that. So I'm putting that brush away, and I'm going to go in with that smaller brush that I did my eyebrows with. Just a little small cheap brush. I really like to do this with an angled brush, but again, all my brushes are dirty. So I'm very bad about, I don't like using dirty brushes, but I also don't like cleaning my brushes because then they got to dry for at least a day, and it's just never convenient. So I'm going to go in with that plum color. And this is kind of like a plum brown. I don't know if you can see it right there on my hand. So it looks plum, but it swatches plum brown. And just go right under everything. And this one, this brush does very fine detail. So I'm going to go in again with the terracotta and go in my tight or waterline with that brush. That brush does some product. I like that brush. So now I'm going to go back in with the first little brush that I used for the eyes underneath them and just kind of smudge that out. And now I'm going to go in with the same brush and dip into the purple and the terracotta and just kind of connect. And now my dog is in there barking, so this has just been a great video. Taking the Wet n Wild Flat Fluffy, if that's even a word. We're just going to make up our own brush names. That crazy brush that Jessie likes to use. And then go back in with the lightest shade. And you can definitely hear Riley screaming in the hallway right now. And I think that is gonna do it. Just kind of blend those together. Now I am going to take the lightest shade. Normally I would use a highlighter or just a matte white, but I'm trying to stick to this palette. So I'm going to take my finger and just barely go up under my eyebrow. And you can do this before you ever start. You can just take that full color all the way up. Just blend that in. Okay, so my memory card got full while I was recording and didn't realize that it shut off, but thankfully we didn't miss much. What I did after I finished the eyes, which you've seen the majority of the under eye and everything getting blended together, what I did after that was go in with my bronzing palette from e.l.f. It's the quad. And I took my Real Techniques bronzing brush and I went through these three. This last one right here, which if you're looking at it from the mirror side, is the top second one. But I went through these and created my bronzer. Now you're looking at the bronzer and blush, but I went through and got my cheekbone like this and went right at that cheekbone and pushed that bronzer like I was pushing up. And I do my bronzer like a 3. Whenever I'm just doing bronzer, not contouring, I just go just like a 3. So I'll do this first, and then I'll do this first. And I have a big forehead, so I'll actually do like this, and then come over to the other side and do my bottom part of my 3, and then the top part. After that, I went in with the e.l.f. Baked Blush. There's no names on this stuff, but this blush is gorgeous. And I chose this one. I had 2 to choose from. This is more of like a mauvey rose. It's gorgeous. But I already did kind of like a smoky rose look on my eye. So I wanted this because I didn't happen to pick up a highlighter to use for this video. That's e.l.f. brand. So I took this and I swirled my blush brush into it. It's also by Real Techniques. Knocked off the excess. I can't talk. And did a little C right here, right above where you put the bronzer. And again on the other side. And then this has incredible payout. This is, I'm going to be interested to see how long this lasts. But this is by far one of my favorite blushes to use. And I've used it on clients. This actually came out of my professional makeup kit. So after that, I took my bronzer brush and kind of blended everything together. And I'm really happy with the way that it's looking. All that is said and done. I am going to take my eyelash curler and curl my eyelashes. And go in with the e.l.f. Waterproof Lengthening Volume Mascara. And the brush. Ooh, I'm excited to use this brush. So, let's curl our eyelashes and see how this is going to do. I believe the mascara was $4. I know there was 1 for $2. I was trying to do this under budget because I have a lot of clients that want to be able to get everything they need for a budget. And I'm really interested to see this brush. It's either going to be great or terrible. So bear with me. Here we go. You can totally hear Riley outside the door. I really like this mascara. It looks like it could clump easily, but a good tip that you can do is on a clean, like Kleenex or anything, especially new mascara I like to do this with. I like to, let me find a clean part of my hand, take it and get the excess off. You're never going to use a full tube of mascara. Mascara only lasts, I think, 6 months until it expires. I don't know that the formula is my favorite. I feel like it may be a little clumpier than what I'm used to, but I definitely like this brush. This is a really good brush. So again, I'm gonna just take off that the extra amount. I'm gonna quit trying to say that word today. It's just not gonna happen. And now my son is rolling a car down the wall that I'm filming in front of. I really think I'm gonna enjoy testing this out. So I'll be using the matte lip color in the shade Natural. Let's see if that can focus. Maybe, maybe not. And I'm just going to start. And it is natural. And it is already mattifying. I can feel it drying to my lips. And I'm just gonna And there you have it. That is today's makeup look using all e.l.f. products, and this whole haul was under $40, and that's including the things that I already had, which was this blush and the quad of bronzers. I have to say that my top two favorite things was this baked blush. I'm gonna have to get more of these. I'm in love with this. And this Mad for Matte eyeshadow palette. I am so excited to try different looks with this. I am very happy with my look that I came up with today. After everything is said and done, I don't think that there's anything that I absolutely hate and will throw out. I do feel like the foundation has set thanks to this HD powder. And again, I don't know if the problem was with the foundation or the primer. I'm excited to try the foundation again under my regular, or on top of my regular primer. But I'm very happy with this makeup look. I think that it's fabulous for running to Lowe's and Walmart on a Saturday night. But we will see how it wears, and definitely check back for more videos. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thanks, guys. Bye.